Hello? Oh, you can hear me. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to put my microphone on here. Well, thank you very much for having me here. Cooking up diplomacy with the power of food. So you're probably wondering what a chef's doing here. You probably figure a chef just going to be cooking for you. That's what I thought I was going to do when I started becoming a chef. I thought, well, I'll just be cooking. At least I'll be able to eat and have a good time doing it. And then it turns out we do a lot more than just cook. I'm lucky enough to be on the show Chopped. I hope people, you guys seem very busy. I hope you guys see it. I'm not really sure how you guys have time with all the great people I've been meeting here and all the work you're doing. Thank you very much for everything. But so with Chopped, it sort of gave me a platform to be out there and have a little bit of notoriety. And I thought I can use that to help out other people. So chefs and restaurateurs, I have to say, we are an amazing group of people. Thank you very much. But we do an amazing job of raising money for philanthropy. I could probably be doing a different fundraiser every day of the week, probably three times a week. And all of my colleagues jump in, cancer research, feeding hungry people. I'm one of the people that work with, I work with Share Our Strength a lot. I'm on their leadership council. We're trying to end childhood hunger in America, which is a very important thing. So, thank you. That's sort of how food, I think, is changing the world. Obviously eating changes people as well, but the philanthropy is amazing. But I want to talk about something else, which I think is very exciting and interesting. It's called the Diplomatic Culinary Partnership. And a lot of people don't really know about this because it's a program that lives in the State Department. It was started in 2012. There was about 50 chefs. When the State Department decided to start this program, they called the James Beard Foundation, and they gave them some names of chefs that could participate. So we all sort of signed up, and I think there's probably over 100 chefs that are involved now. And what we do is the State Department sort of deploys us out into the world, into different countries, to talk about food, talk about our culture, to talk about different things that I think, if you think about diplomacy, what better way to do it but around food? And it also helps with the agricultural department. It also lives inside of this, in the State Department. So we then go and also sort of represent certain ingredients that might be grown in America that we can trade with other countries or, sell to other countries, like cranberries, pecans and things like that. But more importantly, I did, for a couple trips that I did, one I went to Rome, and I went there for Thanksgiving, and I went and cooked for about 30 Italian dignitaries, a big, huge Thanksgiving feast at the embassy, at the DCM's house. And it was interesting to watch and to talk to all of these Italian dignitaries. The Italian ambassador to Pakistan was there, the mayor of Rome, and they were really interested in talking to me about our food and our culture. And it was great to be able to exchange sort of these ideas, because some of them were literally, we're going out there and people are like, a bunch of Americans just eating hamburgers and hot dogs. We have a huge culture and there's great food in this country as well. So we wanted to make sure that point came across, and it certainly did when I was meeting with these people. Then the most impactful trip that I got to do, I went to Turkey. I went to Istanbul and to Ankara. And I got to do a television show with a chef over there. His name was Arda Turkmen. So this guy is their most popular chef on television in Turkey. When we were going around, they came to the hotel, they mic'd us up, we went out with a camera crew, we went to a fish market. Then we went to a pickle maker. It was 5 generations of pickle guys. They make all these amazing pickles. And everybody was coming up to this guy on the street and taking selfies. And I was like, wow, this guy's pretty popular here. And a lot of times you go do these programs and you're sort of wondering, what am I doing? And why is it's a weird sort of thing to try to get out there and spread the love of America and our culture, and in a strange way. But what happened after this, we went and did a show in his studio, and they told me it was the first time this guy had ever had another chef in his studio for his big TV show that he does. And I got to stand there and cook with him. I had my American chef's jacket on with the seal and the American flag up here and everything. So we're sitting there, we're both cooking with eggplant. Well, I had to sit down because I'm a little taller than he was, so they didn't want me to be towering over him while he was cooking, I think, which I thought that was kind of funny. And he did it all in Turkish, so I didn't understand what he was talking about. But obviously, I'm a chef, and I know what he was doing. He was cooking food. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then I got to do my dish. I made a dish with like a tartine, whatever. I did something with eggplant. And the show went really well. And still in my mind, I'm like, well, this is fun. I'm doing a TV show. I'm here with the American government, whatever. kind of fun. I get back in the van to go back to the embassy or the consulate in Istanbul, and all of the American people from the USIS, all the people that are in charge of me, taking me around and doing different things, they're like, you have no idea what you did. And I go, oh God, am I in trouble? What did I do? I must have done something wrong. They said, you were able to reach more people in this country by doing that TV show with goodwill and like just seeing two chefs, an American chef and a Turkish chef, cooking next to each other, you know, like two brothers cooking in a kitchen, was the greatest thing for them. Because obviously in the embassy and the consulates there, they're trying to project our way of life and tell people that we are nice people and we have a great culture and we're, you know, spreading our love of democracy and everything like that. But there's people in that country that really, they would never know anything about us. They only read the stuff in the newspaper that's bad, about they think that Americans are bad and things like that. But this was something that everybody can grasp, you know, a little bit of cooking together, and we're all just human and we all have to eat and we all just want to cook great food. And I was really sort of shocked by this whole thing, but it was really amazing to see the impact that these people that I was with were talking about, the impact they would have on that country and their view of us as Americans. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then they sent me to China. I got to go to Guangzhou and I went to Shanghai, and I met a lot of people. I got to meet migrant students. A lot of students in China are very interested in Western cooking, because even in China, Western cooking, people are getting paid more to do that type of cooking. So they're very, very interested in that. I got to do a lot of press. A really, really great trip. I was there for 10 days. Thank God, because it's a long way. That's like a 16-hour flight. That was a little far away. But when I came back to America, so that trip was good. I was there for the 4th of July and promoting American 4th of July things, and there was Chinese speakers, American ambassador was speaking at these parties, and I was all involved in all these things. But when I got back to America, I got a call from the State Department, and they said, we want you to continue on more things about your trip to China. And I was like, oh, I got to go back to China again? But no, I had to just come to Washington, D.C. The president of China was visiting America, and they thought it would be a great sort of welcome thing to show our appreciation of their culture and our country to their country. So I got to go to the State Department and I cooked lunch for 250 people, the Chinese president, our vice president, and our Secretary of State. And it was great to get to meet these people, and got to meet the president of China, and he was so thankful that I had gone to their country to see their culture and bring word of our food culture to them. And then I got to feed them lunch, and of course they were running late, so we had to feed 250 people in 30 minutes, which was a little tricky, but we got it done. So that was sort of where I see food has the power to create social impact in a diplomatic way, which I thought was really interesting. And I really do hope that this continues on in whatever administration is coming next, because I think it's a very important tool. And I think that if every diplomat in this country sat around a table and had dinner and talked and had a good time before they started talking about all the other stuff, this world would be a much nicer place, I think. I think if everybody gets along much better when they got a nice full stomach. And also, if you think about food, it's the one thing that everybody in this world has in common. We all have to eat, hopefully 3 times a day. So I think it's sort of a common denominator that everybody can start with. And I really hope that this program keeps going, and that I'm going to be part of it, which is fantastic anyway. Thank you very much.